Simon & Schuster Audio presents The Hunt for the Silver Killer by David Collins. Read by Nick Biadon. Prologue. It was April 2020. The first national coronavirus lockdown had ground the UK to a halt, as the government placed restrictions on our daily lives to curb the spread of the virus. People were instructed to stay at home and avoid their family and friends, pubs and restaurants closed their doors, classrooms were emptied, and only one member of each household was allowed to enter a supermarket. The news had become an endless flurry of statistics about the pandemic, and at times it felt like the only story being reported. The Sunday Times' regional office in Manchester had closed. I found myself reporting on the pandemic from a shed at the bottom of my garden. One afternoon, working in my shed, I received a phone call from a source who was in possession of a confidential report. The author of the report was Stephanie Davies, the senior coroner's officer for Cheshire Police, a high flyer who had been given 2 commendations by the chief constable and held a string of qualifications in death investigations, crime scenes, and forensic science. Davies headed a team of 13 civilian staff investigating sudden and unexpected deaths on behalf of the Cheshire coroner. The 179-page document was a review of 2 murder-suicides which had taken place in Wilmslow, Cheshire, in 1996 and 1999. Both cases involved elderly couples with no history of domestic violence, health problems, or financial worries at the time of their deaths. They lived in large houses in one of the wealthiest areas outside London, a town where footballers and soap stars rubbed shoulders with businessmen and bankers, and violent crime was a rarity. I read the report in one sitting. The graphic violence of the crimes was disturbing. Photographs of married couples lying side by side in twisted, bloodied bedsheets. The women, in particular, had been the focus of excessive violence. Bludgeoned and stabbed, their wounds far in excess of what was required to kill. In each case, the police had concluded the killer was the husband, who had subsequently taken his own life. That would have been the end of the matter, except that the senior coroner's officer, doubting the original findings of murder-suicide, had revisited the cases and arrived at her own conclusion. She believed the murder-suicides were in fact murders.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?